Just to quickly recap from yesterday's first reading, there was impressive, remarkable growth in the city of Antioch and what we will now call the Church of Antioch. As I said to you yesterday, Antioch became one of the major theological centers in early Christianity in terms of the explanation and development of doctrines like the Incarnation and the Trinity and so forth, and along with the church in Alexandria, Egypt, and in Rome, the major players. And I also said yesterday that a very important event happened where Barnabas is sent from Jerusalem to Antioch to see what is happening there. He sees the large number of people growing, and he does something which kind of puts us in the position we are in today, especially in regards to our New Testament canon with all the letters of St. Paul, that Barnabas goes then to Tarsus, gets a hold of Saul and brings him down to help with the preaching and teaching in the church of Antioch. That was a significant event because St. Paul wasn't a major player yet. You know, he wasn't on the scene yet. He converted and stuff, but now he's becoming a preacher. And as I said, and as we see today, as I promised yesterday, Paul and Barnabas are going to, quote unquote, take their show on the road. Okay? And now it begins. And so we're given the church of Antioch. What are they doing? First of all, they're worshiping, which in the Greek is the word liturgia. Okay? It's where we get the word liturgy from. So really, when they're using the word worshiping here in this text, what are they doing? Well, they're celebrating the Eucharist. You know, that's what they're doing. Okay? And then they're also what? Prayer and fasting. Now, we also heard in the Gospels the importance of fasting. You remember that incident in the Gospels where Jesus is alone praying, and he comes down and he notices that the apostles are having a hard time exorcising this demon out of this individual. Jesus comes and then heals him, exorcises the demon, and the apostles are like, what happened? Why didn't it work for us? And he said what? He says, some exercise can only be done not only with prayer, but with fasting. Okay? Fasting we usually associate with the season of Lent. We do it during Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. And I think maybe we can make the case that we don't do it enough, in the life of the church. Because fasting was not only a weapon, a tool to help us in the battle of sin, which I don't know about you, it's a year-long battle for me, okay? It might be for you too, okay? But it also helps with the idea of discernment, okay? And it's the same process. It's detaching our desires, or maybe put it this way, moving past the physical desires that we have and moving deeper into the deeper desires that we have. Ultimately, at the very core and center of our heart is the longing for God to fill that longing we have for love and life, okay? But we often don't get there or focus in there because why? We spend our day satisfying our needs, I don't know about you, but especially as a young guy, so I won't be a young guy soon. I'll be a middle-aged guy in a couple of days, a couple of weeks, okay? But a lot of times I just go about the day thinking, what meal am I going to have next? What am I going to eat next? That type of mentality. And again, so what's the point in all that? The point is I'm so focused on the base level that I'm not getting down deeper to what I really need in life, So fasting also helps not only with sin, but with getting deeper into God, acknowledging and recognizing that he's going to fill that void, and then letting him guide where we're going to go in life. And so Paul and Barnabas, they're comfortable. They're in Antioch. They're developing a lot of friendships and comforts and routines and habits. And then as they pray and fast, something happens within them in the community. They decided through the guidance of the Holy Spirit, we got to get out there. We can't just be here in Antioch. There are others around the area that also need us, And they get to that point through prayer, through fasting, and then also the acknowledgement that, we have to get out of our comfort zone. That's often the life of the disciple, getting out of the comfort zone. So there you are. And again, now we're going to continue on in the story. As I said, we're going to soon approach the third major event in the Acts of the Apostles that's going to change the course of the history and be the reason why we're here today. And like I said, we'll get to that. But maybe just to conclude with this, to think of Fridays, as a day of fasting. Even before Vatican II, they used to also do it on Wednesdays as well, at least abstain from meat. But maybe it doesn't have to be a full-out fast, but just acknowledgement that not only prayer is important, but also the very important spiritual practice of fasting. May God bless you.